Hello, my hosts, and welcome to another stream. That's not the button I wanted to press. Now, what's the button I want to press? Anyway, today we are doing a little bit of animation for an upcoming video. Let's just make sure that that's out of the way, and that as well. All right. Okay. Just doing a little bit of cleanup because I'm going to be doing a screen cap soon. Okay. You go away. All right. Good. There we go. Hello, Bleak. Good to see you as well. Let's do a scene change. Now, oh, got to put chat up there. How have you been, Blake? Yep. Oh. Okay, and here we are in our little city. Let's go material preview. Let's start on that. And I'm doing quite well at the moment. Click on that. First material is going to be for the floor. Yeah. Things for your grand yesterday, so I couldn't watch you. City block? Yep. This is where the car crash is going to happen. Let's go to new. Let's call this material road. We're going to make it dark grey, turn the roughness right up. Yeah. Well, a crash between two trucks, which turns into a multi-car pile-up. That's the idea. Well, the narrative of this scene. Ah. Game mass is very simple but powerful. Yeah. It's a lot of, well, most of it's a lot of Newtonian mechanics. Let's go new here. We're going to call this walls. We're going to set that material like that. Okay, let's go into geometry nodes. Set it to material preview. And here, set material. Now, where that wall gets lifted up, extrude. Where is the one that extrudes upwards? I think it's that one there. Okay. So we go. like that. This is the bit of code that makes the towers go up. So if we go geometry there, cut that off, geometry there, we say side, and we set this material to wall. We can now adjust that material independently. Good. Shading. Select you. Why aren't we able to... because we're in world mode. You want to be in object mode, wall. Now we can adjust the color and everything of these walls. Perfect. I'm going to say it's going to be slightly goldish, but I'm going to be adjusting that. I'm going to crank up the metallic, pull down the roughness. We've got that little gold sheen to it. Good. Now we go brick texture. Yes. Make those both like that. Stick a bump. Factor it the height. I think we invert it. Feed that into the normal. Why aren't I seeing bumps? Because of the size. Yep. Oh, it's doing that weird thing. Texture coordinates. Object. Okay. So what I want to do is make it look like there are windows. At the moment, we're getting that weird stripy effect. Actually, to make it clearer, let's go principled. Cut that off for a second. Like that. That doesn't look right. If I go there, now camera will work, but it has this weird effect. Generated. That's not what I want to see. How well is UV? Not. What if we go relative to the truck. Hold on. That might actually work if we change the scale. Yeah, okay. Now it's got that weird effect. Okay. Let's throw in vector math. Yeah, it's also sideways. That one we can fix. Hi, Ren. I can't do Euler alignment here. Okay. Let's try. Mapping. And mapping we want to do is vector. So object there. Rotation. That's not quite what we want. So let's do a vector math. Scale by pi. Does that do what? That's not quite it. Okay, that's not doing what I wanted. Let's try a little bit of a trick. Actually, if I go feed normal into the color, really? Okay. Good. So this side's black, that side's red, and that side's green. So we can take each side. Separate X, Y, and Z. So that's the X side facing that way. X is positive. I think switch. We have a switch statement. Hey, can use math for it. Math. There we go. It's greater than 0. All right. Search. Actually, we can use a mixer here. Mix. This will be the factor for this one. So this will be 1. Like just that. Just you. That's a weird effect. Ah. Let's fix that up. What's happening here? A lot of this is just experimentation and right. Set that to 1. So out of object, separate X, Y, Z. Go combine X, Y, Z. First do it in the obvious way, which is wrong. Also, here I'm going to set this color like that, so we know we are. Oh, got this wrong. We only wanted to be dealing with one side, so just that. Just hue to green. So everything bar, this is the only side we're working on. Good. That's the wrong way up. So we can go like that. Flip things over. Ah. Hello, awesome. That's not what we want. Well, there's 6 solutions, so not what we want. Okay, that's what we want. Now we can change the scale. First change the offset so that they're like that. Change the scale so they look a bit more right there. Squish. No, it's not what we want. Oh. We want the height to be a little bit bigger. Brick height. Yeah, that's a bit more of a building window scale. Cool. Actually, so that's one side done. We copy that. Greater than 0. Less than 0. Copy you, put you there. Now if we plug that in there and plug that in. Oops. Wrong way. Plug that into there and that into there. Now, only this side is being operated on. Cool. Now, can we use the same thing here? Yes, we can. Good. My divide and conquer approach is working fine. The next step copy that, push that there. Actually, copy that, push that one there. So y greater than 0, feed that to there. So we've got green. I'm here for the crash. Excellent. Well, first we've got to build the city that the crash is going to happen in. Let's copy this arrangement. Like that. And that feeds into there. That's all black. That's not going to be good. But we'll fix that by taking this node here, which is the object node. Fit it there. That looks wrong. Let's fix that. Nope. Nope. Almost. Perfect. Now I've got this other side. Can we just go like that? Excellent. Now we take all of that malarkey. We swap color for fact. And there. Do the same thing here. Now I could probably optimize this node layout. So I know there's redundant elements. Oh. But I am of the opinion that you get it working and then you optimize. All right. Feed that into a bump map. No, not like that. Node. There and there. Now that looks like looks like shiny buildings. Shiny window buildings. I think we can actually do better than that. Let's move this forward. We're going to use these mixed nodes to do the vectors instead. So cut that. Okay, this is the thing. So take you. Cut that, cut that. That one. Come into there. Height of factor. And back to there. Oh, we're almost got it corrected. All right, that one into that node. Oh, nope. What have we got here going on? So those two. Into there. Nope. So those two have got to go to here and there. Good. That means this one has got to go into there and there. Perfect. All right. And talking about crashes, I need a stretch. Let me do my stretches. All right. All right. Now, let's try a bit of an experiment. Uh, oh, let's go object info. No, that's not what I want. Got point info. No, this info is helpful input. Camera angle, camera attribute, curve info, Fresnel geometry. I think. Hey, actually, geometry is what I'm looking for. Now, if I go like that. So I just want to. Okay, so it's the same value per island. So those aren't gonna do that. I just want it to be less monotonous. What if we do parametric? That's not going to work. Oh, that's funky. Not the effect we want. It's a funky effect. I think we can leave it there. And just accept that. Hold on. I do have an idea. Go Voleroid. Set it to 2D. Okay, now the buildings have sort of different colors. we reduce random down. Scale it up. Okay. Then color ramp. Like that. We choose some colors. So it's sort of a goldish color here. And over here, a bluish color. No, no. Here, okay, make that gold. Okay. I mean, we've got the weirdness of the buildings being all identical, but I can kind of live with that. And then we got the roof. Okay. Let's add a new one. Gonna call building roof. Extrude. Up. Oops. Copy that. Up. What is it? Weird. Let's go duplicate. Building roof. Like that. Go back into the shading. What shall we do with the roofs? Let's go roughness maximum. Let's have it a bit of a grey. I think that's fine. So, kind of a weird environment. What are we? Okay. Whoa, okay. So we start off down here. Let me pull up my DaVinci Resolve. Da. So I've got to figure out what the angle is so the cut will work correctly. And I'll be noting that down. Come on. There. They're actually bringing out a new version soon, which will allow you to put guidelines on the screen, which will be cool. As in literal guidelines. Lines on the screen allow you to line stuff up, which will be cool. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's the version that I was talking about. Just go back slightly. Just tab through this. Okay. Oh. Traffic light goes green, green. Then oh, come on. Okay, so it's like that. So the topmost truck hits the bottom truck in its side. Good. I'll have that all lined up. Huh, cool. I got the thing lined up there. So let's... Why is that white? Camera. Good. Let's adjust the camera like that. So we're in the middle of that. That'll be there. Oh. Set that as our first frame. Got a object. Blonk, blonk, blonk. Set that to 0. Like that. Why did the ground end up white? Because that's the roof shading. Curiouser and curiouser. Geometry notes there. So the default should be road. So wall. Does that remain? Mm. I think that fixes that problem. Let's check in layout. No. Weird. Let's do a quick save. Have to investigate that, or maybe not. What we can do is in building roof. Since the base color's grey, we can adjust the color based on altitude. So color ramp. Hold on. Interesting. Hold on. Oh, right. So it is. So it is doing that. It's just the sun's so bright it washes out that color there. Is that a roughness thing? Kind of. We go increase the metallic of it. If that's the case. Hold on. What? That's weird. Ah. Make it a bit of a brown. Like that. Good. That's our road. That's our truck. That's how we start off. The way we end. Right. Oh, no. By lifting the camera up to take in more of the scene. Oh, like that. Good. Actually, let's be a little bit more artistic. Move like that. So at the bottom we're there. Set these. Top. Oh, we didn't set the points. Move back. tilt. So how do you... Let's tilt some more. We'll keep it in the center of the frame. We'll mark all of those. Yeah. All right. Now, that bit, our heroes are out of the frame, so let's adjust the camera slightly. Is that better? Yeah. Good. Now, I'm going to be very silly with this. What we're going to do is get our... So, first, you... Add collision to that. Don't need you. Add collision to you. Add collision there after that. And create a... Let's see if I can get this right. Whoops. How do I... Like that. Cube. Which we don't render off that. And that has our particle system in it. And that's wrong. So just delete that. Let's try this again. This spot here, just tab. I selected that. Hold on. Yep, cool. Cursor to selected. Out of that. Add an empty. Need to move up slightly. Can I set you be a particle emitter. Interestingly, I can't. All right, delete that. Cube. Make cube tiny. Be off screen anyway. Set you as an emitter. Now, what happens when we play this? That's kind of what we want. And I should do another stretch. Now, the thing I am going to be emitting is going to be the trucks. Da, da. Let's see. Viewpoint display. Physics cache. Now, how do I get it to, is it under render? Oh, render as object. And the object is truck. Now, those trucks aren't big enough. So just scale. That. Oop. Okay, that's the right scale. Actually, scale 1 makes sense. Let's try that again. Oh, that's kind of okay. Cool. Now, why? No. need these things to collide with each other. Children, field weights. If I go here, make instances real. Is that... Okay, you have collision. Okay. Where is this truck? This is the truck emitter, isn't it? Okay. Just going to give that a name. This is truck emitter. Emit from faces. I only actually need one face, one pointing that way, but we'll tackle that later. Physics, Newtonian. We're into object. Field weights. How do we make these things bounce off each other? It's probably just a setting. Actually, add modifier, collision. Does that have the effect that I want? No, they still, unless here, soft body, kill particles, collision. Maybe switch off single-sided. Nope. What am I missing? Okay. So enable it as a What's happening here? Okay. Objects fly out. And some of them bounce off. Oh, welcome back then. Let's increase the dampening. Oh. I can see what's happening here. No, I can't. Truck emitter. There we go. That is a particle emitter that's emitting truck particles. The idea is I'm firing them down the road. What I wanted them to do is all pile up on each other. Now, select this side here now. Straights. Inside the particles tab. The emitter. Emit from faces. Can I just... Hold on for a split second. Oh. And back, you need an SSL supplier. I think We Encrypt does it. We get rid of these extra faces. Ah. Now let's see. All right. What I want them to do is collide. Yeah. Now, it's going to go to material preview so it's easier to see what's going on. Oh, they are actually bouncing off. Actually, some of them are collecting there and others bouncing off. So I've got to change the elasticity properties. Make these things less elastic. Multiply mass with size. Done under physics. Okay. Let's see. Increase the stickiness. Maybe, or ramp up the dampening. All right, how's that go? Open it on stream? What are you talking about? It is on stream. Just fiddling around with settings now. That just made everything bounce around weirdly. Actually, I think part of what we need to do is adjust the frequency of the particle emitter. Frame start, frame end, lifetime 50. Guess is that to say 500. Oops. Mix them all in one burst. That's not what we want. Uh, Distribution jittered, random. Particles of phase. Cache. That sets the velocity. When do we set when these things get emitted? To start emitting particles, to stop emitting particles. Okay. Set that to 250. Okay. And lifetimes 250 as well. A whole lot of extra particles that fall off the bottom while the other ones get all clumped up there. Let's click on the truck emitter. Where's my arrows to move things around with? There's that one. Uh, Hello, Lego Sam. Just the position of that. Set the velocity. Let's say remove normal velocity and we do object aligned Y -1. Why did it fall out of the world? Okay. Oh, it's still falling out of the world. The actual particle emitter itself. Okay. Why is... Okay, let's just remove physics. It's got... Yeah. You have to mount your SSDs manually? That's curious. It used to be you could set that up with the F tab, which I know is the old way of doing it, but we switch collision off for that. Why is the emitter being affected by gravity? Which is weird. Some modifiers. Let's remove that. Okay, it's got the rigid body. Why does it... Now if we go like... All right. That kind of does what I want. Although they're now... Still too many trucks. And they're clipping into each other as well. Thank you very much. Well, we... Also, yeah, that's way too many trucks. Let's cut down the number of trucks again. Some of them are bouncing back. Others are just accumulating there weirdly. Would it not be... Yes. But that's not currently the thing I want to optimize for. Actually, I just thought of something. I reckon if I add, as well as collision, dynamic paint. Oh, that's cool. Uh, we go physics, collision, rigid body, collision, rigid body. Falls through the ground? Why do they stop there? This should have collision as well. Move it up slightly. There we go. Oh, that was weird. Blender just went and crashed on me. Let's get Blender up again. Uh, recover last session. Have we lost everything? Yeah. Recover last session. Uh-oh. Autosave. Ah. Have not heard of that. Okay, we've got that. Let's make sure we save that. That's the particle emitter there. The particle emitter's still there. Let's play it. All right. Okay, let's go to the particle emitter. Say 100. Eh. Ah. Right, that's colliding with that. Why does it go through the first one? There's less trucks now. Yeah, we want the trucks to crash and not the server. Collision. Damping. Truck emitter. You're using truck as your object. Truck 1. Truck 2. I don't think we need truck 2. Let's get rid of that. All right. So truck. Physics collision. There. Soft body and cloth, damping randomize. These things should have collision. Now, if we go like that, they all get accumulated. I'm not sure how to say rigid body. Shape convex hull. It'll go like that. Is it falling off? No, it's not. There are some bouncing back. That's weird. Thing is, don't know why it doesn't collide with itself. All right. Oh, I need to stretch again. Actually, I probably should end this particular stream here. So let's get back to my main room. Thank you for joining me as I did some work in Blender. Tomorrow we will be not streaming since my family's over, so I'm going to have a nice lunch out with them. So I hope that will be fun. The day after tomorrow we will be back in, I think, RimWorld, so I hope you'll be able to enjoy that. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all later. Goodbye.